I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going.
Yeah, he does. He totally understands it. He just doesn't like it. Once again, he can't be honest about the most basic stuff. You don't want people to talk about it for reasons that might involve your name being in it or not. But it's not that you don't understand it. And is it boring or is it sordid? Because I feel like those are almost antonyms. Sordid stuff, by its very nature, kind of exciting. And also, even if you hadn't called it sordid, kind of blowing up your whole scheme there, is it boring? Is it? Because you keep saying on True Social that Obama and Comey and Bernie and Hillary, they wrote these files. They invented Jeffrey Epstein, apparently an innocent man who never wronged anybody. And then they had him killed or he committed suicide. Trump doesn't want to take a position on that. And all of that, boring. Oh, who wants to talk about that anymore? You really need to pick a lane. But I'm kind of being sarcastic there because he has picked a lane, and you saw the beginning of it right there. It's boring, okay? It's bad. You're wasting our time by talking about it. With most of the people receiving that message being not Libby Libs, but MAGA people. So he's getting aggressive with his own base, and it actually gets worse from there. So he goes on True Social, and he does another way too long thing. We're not gonna read the whole thing. But he keeps trying to present it as the left has paid dirt. They made up this whole thing, which again, see this big ass paragraph? This is boring to him. He doesn't understand why people are interested in the novella length conspiracy theory he's spinning there. But here's the thing, unlike Republicans, the left stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, he hopes. And my past supporters have bought into this bull ass hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I'm a big success, but let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking about our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. That is the MAGA movement he's talking about. As we're gonna show, we'll get to the polls later. That is the vast majority of his supporters. He's telling you, I don't want your support. You're a weakling and a sucker falling for leftist conspiracy theories that he himself shared over and over and over again. And were predominantly discussed online by right wingers for the past half decade, lest you forget. And so that's his base. That's whichever right wing influencers are still talking about it, and we'll get up into an updated thing about that. They are losers and suckers and scammers, and he doesn't want their support. And you might think, wow, that's pretty aggressive for Donald Trump to say about his own base, but that was earlier today. It got even more aggressive. Take a look.
No, it's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
They're stupid people. Stupid suckers, stupid people. I just want to talk about my great success. I'm the best, but you guys are stupid. So he has used a lot of weaklings, suckers, stupid. I believe he also called them evil. I don't know if I've ever heard a politician like so viciously and repeatedly attack their own base. And Sharon, I want your thoughts, but I do want to just say, I have been I don't know exactly where I stand on exactly what I think is being covered up. I have said a million times, I don't believe that he's the only person that actually essayed anyone. I think there's definitely other people. But in terms of like a specific list or the ultimate question, which is Donald Trump personally implicated? But look, again, this is just speculation. You do not do all of what he's doing just because you're bored with it and because you want people to move on and you think it's a distraction. Why would he do all this? Like at a certain point, even if I don't want to imply that I know something that I can't know for sure, I do not understand any alternative explanation than that he is terrified of what could come out. And if you're watching this and you have an alternative explanation that you think is equally plausible, then feel free and understand, I'm not a person that came out on day one, Trump's in the Epstein files. I'm not Trump derangement syndrome on this. And I've tried to be reasonable and I'm still trying. I don't see any other alternative explanation for why he would go to the lengths of viciously attacking his own base if he was just bored. No, he only ever does this when he senses a severe threat to himself. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he was so vicious. I like people who weren't captured. That's the only thing he didn't say. I like people who weren't captured by a conspiracy theory. I mean, it's crazy. But look, he's a reality TV star. He's not an Academy Award winner or anything. He's not a good actor, okay? He knows everything that's in the file. He's taken a deep dive. I would say he's under the covers with a flashlight at night, but Melania's not in there anyway, so the lights are on as he read the files, okay? He knows everything. He's looking for his name, Control F. How many times is Trump mentioned here? Okay, that's exactly what happened. And yeah, if you want to be smart, you play it off. Well, yeah, I think she should, release more. Let's do that. You just play it real cool. I once changed a grade in middle school, and my mother was like, "This does not look like you got a D, not a B." I had written in pencil, I crafted it, and I just tried to play it off, and I just said, "Well, go ask him then." Now she did, and I got caught, but I'm just saying, be cool about it. You gotta be cool about it. And he's not able to do that. He's totally part of this thing.
Yeah, look, it could end up being, again, I was pretty pessimistic yesterday when it looked like a lot of MAGA was like, oh, yeah, that was a rough weekend, but he did tell us to shut up. So maybe we'll shut up. And I started to think maybe he's successful in cowing them, and that could still very much happen. By the way, everybody, prepare yourself. The distraction is coming. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Steve Bannon is now talking about a special prosecutor that's going to look into like the 2020 election and all that. Like that would be a big thing that they might well do. Sorry, my hair is all messed up today. That they might well do to try to get people's mind off of this. But whatever form it comes in, it's definitely coming. For now though, he has shown an epic inability to come up with some stance or narrative that doesn't make him look every day more suspicious than the day before. He has bungled this thing as bad as I've ever seen anything bungled.